Everybody, welcome to Gettin Blitzed.
Gettin Blitzed.
I'm Danny.
I'm Ben.
And we got our esteemed colleague here, Jonathan Davis. Say hi, Johnny.
Hey.
Man, fuck this podcast!
Very funny.
We have Phil Houston in the audience.
We have a lot of people in the audience tonight. It's a packed house.
It's a packed house. We're getting pretty popular here,
Half
Dan.
the Revolution is here, over half, I think.
I can't do the math, but it sounds right.
Yeah. And we got our friend, resident Bears fan here, Wesley Bland. What's up, Wesley?
What's up, man? Bear down.
Yeah, that's right, man. All right, let's do the news.
The news.
Let's talk about Denver at Seattle. What happened there?
I mean, I think you should, as the resident Broncos fan, I think you're the one that should be giving analysis on this.
All right, well, okay, here's my analysis. Something's wrong with the offense there. The record-setting offense from last year, I think DT's playing hurt. They're leaving too many plays in the field, and they miss Sean Moreno badly. They miss him.
I agree with all that, but at the same point, when the offense, when they had to make a play, when they had to have a drive, they did it.
Well, that's because they have Peyton, the Sheriff fucking Manning, on your team. He can make any play he wants to. I'm just saying.
Hey, who's your favorite player in the NFL again?
Brandon Marshall. I think.
Brandon Marshall.
We're gonna talk about that later with Wesley Bland.
Terry, he said last
Monty
week.
Ball is he's no Sean Moreno.
No, he's
exactly.
not.
He's not. But at the same time, what caliber running back has Peyton Manning ever had?
Edgerrin
James was okay, but he had a 4 or 5 year career.
Right.
That's fair.
But I do think longer than that.
But I do think Sean gets a bad rap. Where I think some people said, any decent running back would be successful in that system, and I think we're seeing that's not the case. Sean made plays. When was the last highlight you saw Monte Ball this season? Has it happened? Is there a highlight?
Jonathan brought up Joseph Adai.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah, right. You know what?
Everybody remembers Joseph Adai.
Bill Irsay picked him up only because of his pass blocking skills, which would you want in a running back
Right.
when paying
and
for
that's
Peyton Manning.
one thing
Yeah.
Sean was really good at, but he could also catch the ball. He could make plays, and I just thought all last season he got a bad rap. I know fantasy players knew how valuable he was, but I think the standard NFL fan thought anyone could do that in Sean's position this year,
Right.
and I don't think that's true.
What else do we take away from the game other than what's wrong with the Broncos offense?
Seattle's a really good team. They're a good team on offense, more than they get credit for. Russell Wilson is emerging steadily,
and they're really good at home.
Yeah, that's a really deep announcement. Seattle's good at home.
Thank you, Jonathan. I didn't know. There's something. Yeah, they got like some kind of thing going on up there. Yeah,
I do think that Peyton Manning probably, I'm not going to say exposed Seattle's defense, but definitely showed that there is weakness there.
I think that's
No,
fair.
that was Phillip Rivers you're thinking of.
Well, no, but I think back-to-back weeks. I think that's a good point. Is that they both, and Peyton obviously struggled early, but yeah, I think that's a good point. When it came down to it, he was able to move the ball, and I think, and I've said this before, whoever won that coin toss was winning the game. If the Broncos won that coin toss, they would have won that game.
Fair enough.
probably.
Which is not taking anything away from the Seahawks.
No,
but
Peyton Manning should always have a chance, and it's not just Peyton Manning, but I do believe that every team should have a chance.
No.
It's a valid point.
No.
But we disagree with it, but it's a valid point.
If you can't stop them from getting a touchdown, I love the recent the rule change from a couple of years ago of the field goal, but if you can't stop your team from getting a touchdown, you lose. In my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but that's a fair point too, and there's a lot of debate about it. But yeah, that's a fair point.
It is a lot better than the team marching down to get to the 20-yard line and kicking a field goal.
Right.
And
not even the 20, like the
up to
39.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
It's definitely an improvement.
It's better.
Yeah, I like it.
New York at Washington. Hello.
Wow,
Hello.
Eli.
I'm so glad I never admitted to being a fan of Michigan State or Kirk Cousins.
Wait a minute. I think you did.
Nope, never
have that on
happened.
record.
Never happened.
Wow, Eli.
No, that was
Eli.
brutal.
Who
was brutal.
Who wants to go first? Ben?
Yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins, I think he played a really good first half, and I think he really crumbled in the second half. And Eli looked great, and I'm on record saying I thought the Giants wouldn't be very good this year, and I never said Eli's done, but I said he could be done. He looked really good in that game. And look, next game he might throw 4 picks and no touchdowns. So I'm not saying, Eli's back. But maybe he will be back this season.
Like I said in episode 1, Tom Coughlin's a good coach. He noticed things in his team's changing. So we got this new offensive coordinator. He put this new system in. Yeah, it had a few squeaks in it the first season, but now it's gonna work.
Nah.
It's not gonna win the division.
I
It's not
think
gonna.
you're giving Coughlin more credit.
No, I don't think
I'm
so.
not hating on Coughlin.
I don't think so.
Say, oh, this confirms I was right. Coughlin's a good coach.
No,
you know.
I think it does.
You have to look at the division too. I mean,
Yeah.
the Eagles they're playing really good right now, but they definitely have holes.
Yeah, and they're playing with fire by going down 3 scores.
It's
in the
Eli
first half.
Manning. It's not the field. It's not the passes to the tight end. It's he's noticing that the middle of the field is open.
Right.
And the Eagles have a tendency to try to pressure the quarterback and leave the middle of the field open.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm
also,
not saying
yeah.
the Giants will compete with the Eagles, but I'm saying there will definitely be good competition there.
I agree. They could split games, and at the end of the year, that might be enough. I think the NFC East is still wide open. I think we can. I'm not ready to count the Redskins out. I think they're obviously the underdog, but I think the NFC East is wide open.
Probably the most
Always-
competitive league in
It
NFL.
always is. You never bet on the NFC East.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Absolutely.
Ever. All right, we got Wesley Bland here, a resident Bears fan. Let's talk about the Bears, Wesley.
Let's talk about the Bears.
All right. Lovie Smith is gone.
Yeah,
Mark
and
Trestman is in.
Lovie Smith. He was a. You cannot argue with what he did with the Bears.
Right.
He took us to a Super Bowl. He played fundamentally sound.
Wait a minute.
defense.
Who'd they lose to in the Super Bowl?
They did lose to the Indianapolis Colts.
Wait, who
was that when Kerry Collins?
And
No, somebody else is
Devin
quarterbacking.
Hester. And can I throw a side note in here? It broke my soul to watch Devin Hester break the return record
Yeah.
with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
It literally crushed my soul. But I do believe that Mark Trestman is a definite upgrade over Lovie Smith.
Really?
Well, definitely on offense. I don't think there's any question on offense, but
But at the same time, Mel Tucker is no Lovie Smith. It's they got rid of Urlacher. Phil Emery cannot come to terms with Urlacher. Urlacher wanted to sign with us. He was willing to take a discount.
Yeah.
We did not want to sign him.
Yeah.
So it's our fault. We could have used Urlacher in the middle of this year.
But I think, and even in spite of the injuries they've had, they've lost Tillman's out, and you look at these last 2 Bears games, and I think you have a pick 6 in both. You have at least 2 interceptions in both. So I don't think this is a great defense, but I think they're the kind of defense that can make a play when they need to. They don't have to be great. With that offense, they don't have to be great.
Who's that rookie that made
Kyle Fuller.
Yeah.
Fuller out of Virginia Tech playing Beamer ball. He is solid. Won the NFC Defensive Player of the Week this year.
Yeah.
He's solid.
Yeah, that boy's good.
He can cover. He can cover a wideout, but
he makes plays, and you got to expect as a rookie he's going to get better and better as the season
he
goes
needs
on.
help over the top, though.
Yeah, there are definitely holes in that defense, but
Now-
they're making plays.
Yes.
I mean, they're
More
creating
plays than
turnovers.
last year.
Absolutely.
Can I comment how Jonathan almost passed out here, live on air? at Gettin'
Jonathan
Blitzed.
likes to set records on Gettin Blitzed. Last week it was the shot, and now he's going to be the first one to pass out.
All right, everyone's got an opinion, even non-Bears fans, but you are a Bears fan. Jay Cutler, give me your spiel.
I do think that Jay Cutler has really learned well under Trestman. You look at what Josh McCown has done.
Yep.
Josh McCown did enough under Trestman to earn a contract over Lovie Smith. And
How did that go for him?
yeah, we all see what Josh McCown did under Lovie.
Grandpa McCown,
But-
I call him.
Everybody thought he might have been a solid quarterback
Yeah.
under Trestman.
Boo,
And
was never a
I
fan.
do believe, I'm not saying that Cutler is going to be the next Peyton Manning, because obviously he's not. I
Yeah.
mean, Peyton Manning is
How dare
awesome.
you use them in the same sentence?
And
How dare you?
but I do think he will be a very serviceable quarterback.
I
If he
agree.
could cut down mistakes, I do think. I mean, he has the best wide receiver tandem in the league.
I agree. No
He's
question.
got a fucking cannon on him. I know that much.
I think he's played really good football these first 3 weeks, and if he can stay healthy, I think that's the biggest issue. Can he stay healthy? When was the last season where he played 16 games?
That would be never.
So that to me, that's the biggest worry.
I just posted on Facebook like an hour ago that Brandon Marshall might be my second favorite player now after seeing his football life.
I think we gave him some love. I saw that too. I think
Yes.
we gave him some love last week too. He's just on the field and off the field. I think he's just a real shining light in the NFL.
Right.
My bias plays into this. Of course, I'm a Bears fan, so I love Brandon Marshall.
Right.
He's had a very tumultuous career.
Yeah.
He was rough with the Broncos. He was rough with the Dolphins. But I do think that he's turned a life around. He has showed that you look at some of these other players who have tumultuous careers.
Yeah.
They can turn it around. Everybody has bad mistakes, but I think Brandon Marshall, I hate to say that he's underrated because everybody thinks as him as a great receiver, but you look at Demaryius Thomas, everybody's like Demaryius Thomas, and you have Brandon Marshall over here just catching touchdowns. So
I agree, and I think like you were talking about this is a guy that had problems, in his personal life, had problems with the law. And not only did he make up for him, he goes on during the offseason. He goes on tour, has given speeches about bipolar disorder and all that. I think he's a really good example of a hero of the NFL, a guy that's had issues and has done everything he could to make the world a better place in spite of him.
Right. How about Alshon Jeffrey? Is he a Brandon Marshall in the making? They look, with their helmets on, they look pretty identical.
Alshon Jeffrey is a solid receiver, but as much as I hate to say this, I do think that he is a product of Mark Trestman's system. I think he's the big body, and I do think he is a very good possession receiver. But when I look at Alshon Jeffrey, I view as someone like Keyshawn Johnson with better hands.
Really?
That's interesting. I never heard that take on it.
I thought. I mean, I don't watch as much Bears tape as you do, but he looked like he makes somewhat Marshall type play sometimes.
Yeah,
he can, but I don't think he doesn't have the burner speed. He's more of the over the middle receiver than he is the deep ball. Jay Cutler throws a deep ball and he can get it because he's 6'5".
He makes some great jump ball catches though. You got to admit that.
Yeah, he has great jump ball.
Yeah. But that's an interesting point, and that's. I mean, you were talking about Josh McCown earlier. Maybe Trestman is making everyone look better, and that's not a bad thing. That's not an indictment. That's saying maybe Trestman's a better coach even than he gets credit for.
His offense is. I mean, he's a good offensive coach.
Yeah, I agree.
Now Mel Tucker show the defense.
Yeah.
All right, Wesley. You got any closing arguments there for your Bears for the North Crown or Super Bowl contention or anything else like that?
I've seen better secondaries in the intramural field, so we're a couple of years away.
I think I'm more optimistic on the Bears than is. I think they can win the North, and maybe if they get hot at the right time, they can make a run.
Let's do a little segment here. We're going to talk about some gatekeepers in the NFL. Teams right in the middle that determine whether you are good or not, whether you can beat them. I got a few teams on my list. Wesley, if you can think of some other ones that I don't have on here, definitely throw them in. Buffalo.
Buffalo has beaten the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to bring that up first.
You led with it.
I didn't mean as
low blow.
I think that is a point that I don't think we know what Buffalo is. I think Buffalo could be really good or really bad, but I don't think.
Yeah, Buffalo did beat Chicago in a. I don't want to say fluky because I think Chicago is a good team, so I don't consider them being a bad. The whole concept of the gatekeepers is you lose to them, you're a bad team. You're good. You beat them, you're a good team.
You're a hell of a linguist, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you think Drew Bledsoe's gonna have a good game?
Drew Bledsoe might show up and have a good game here.
Drew Bledsoe.
Right now, I think that's fair. I think Bears are a good team. I think Buffalo's still kind of up in there. I think they could be a bad team. They could be a good team. I don't know yet.
I don't think Buffalo.
I'm not quite ready to call them a gatekeeper team yet.
Buffalo is not as good as they showed against Chicago, and Chicago is not as bad as they showed against Buffalo. But I do think both teams are coming around.
All right. What do we think about the Arizona Cardinals? I know they're on top of the NFC West. Jackson Hagerman has poured us some shots on air. All right, let's do these shots.
First to throw up loses. We all just threw up at the same time. It was a tie.
Okay, that shot kicked my ass. Arizona. Was that what we're talking about?
Arizona.
Yeah,
Arizona's not a gatekeeper team.
They're a good
Arizona
team?
has won
They're
3 in a row. They've won 2 of those with a backup quarterback.
Okay.
They're not a gatekeeper team. They're potentially a top 10 team. Potentially twice a top 5 team.
I do believe that Carson Palmer might be trying to press the issue. He might see the end of his lifeline running out, so he's trying to rush on the field too early.
Yep.
He's a great quarterback, but I do worry about him trying to get on the field early.
But regardless, what we're talking about is the Cardinals as a team. Are they not a good team?
They have a great secondary.
Are they better than? Are they a top 10 team? Wesley, are they a top 10 team?
I would have to say yes. They are a top 10
Right now,
team.
of course, yes.
Then they're not a gatekeeper team.
Are they going to end up a gatekeeper team? Like,
They won 10 games last year and missed the playoffs.
That's true.
I agree. Not
Okay.
a gatekeeper team. They're doing
Not
this with a
gatekeeping.
backup quarterback,
Right.
not a gatekeeper.
So Arizona is a bona fide good team. Okay.
It has the Gettin Blitzed seal of approval,
Now,
which
let me-
means everything.
Let me tell you, Wesley, you are the most serious guest. No, I don't mind. That's not a knock. You're giving some really good shit to us right now. But
I take
usually
my job
everyone's
serious.
Here's what I really like. The drunker he gets, the more serious
Yeah,
he
you are,
gets. We should have gotten him on here sober. It would have been way funnier.
you're dropping the good info on us here,
I
bro.
like
Sober, I'm like, go Bears, go Bears.
I like it. I like the analysis.
San Diego, are they good or just a gatekeeper team?
Matthew McKinney is a hell of a head coach. He's a great offensive coach. Yeah, his whoever their
McCoy?
name,
Mike
yeah, whatever his name is.
He named an Irish
I said
name.
that.
That's pretty close. That's pretty
he
good.
got it wrong, too. You
I said Mike McCoy.
Yeah, you got it right.
Do I win getting blitzed?
Yes,
Is
sir,
it
you
Matt
do.
McCarty? I thought it was.
No, it's Mike McCoy.
It's some
That's the
fucking.
Packers head coach.
It's some fucking Mick. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Irish McLeprechaun.
No one really
whatever.
knows. We just know he has a great fucking offense. And Phillip Rivers seems revived. I mean, so does Eli, even though they both got drafted in the same
but
draft class.
okay,
Yeah.
so to the bottom line, good team. So they're a good team.
Good team.
Are they
Okay.
top 10?
Yes.
All right. They're not a
Alright.
gatekeeper. And I'm not quite ready to say that, but I would lean in that direction.
All right.
I think they could potentially be a top 10 team at the end of the year.
Kansas City.
Gatekeeper team.
Yeah. Their defense keep them in games. Alex Smith can make some non-mistake-free games and keep them in there, but not
Like
gonna,
you said, they'll beat bad teams and lose the good teams.
Right.
I do believe that Alex Smith might be one of the most underrated quarterbacks
Oh,
ever.
come on.
No, I'm with you. I'm
Get
glad
off
you
of
brought
it.
it
At
up.
the
I
same
agree.
time,
Get
he
off
has
of it.
absolutely no one to throw to.
Do we
Yeah.
have like a
Dwayne Bowe
hallelujah
has
drop we can throw in here?
I'll put
Dwayne
one
Bowe
in there.
has broken fingers, and other than that, Alex Smith's looking
come
around
on.
like, who should I throw to?
Donnie
No.
Avery, man, he's the
You know,
best.
I've seen a lot of that dude because watching the Broncos games, playing twice a year. He's not bad, but it's not underrated. He's exactly
no.
he's rated exactly where he should be.
You just said I've seen a lot of that dude because of the Broncos games. That's 2 games. That's 3 games now. And what he just said was right. Is that in all 3 of those
but
games, who was he throwing to? Dwayne Bowe, who takes weeks off at a time and just kind of stumbles around the field, not worrying about getting open. Who else is he throwing to besides Jamal Charles? He has Travis Kelce this year, but that guy's still emerging. It's a tight end. It's not. He doesn't have a number 1 receiver.
He looked good in the preseason, but everybody looks good in the preseason.
And as far as when he was with Kansas City, Smith has never had a number 1 receiver. And they still won a lot of games last year. And what are they, 2-1 right now? No, they're 1 and 2.
Well,
Everybody loses to the Titans
All right.
sometimes.
Cleveland Browns, are they a gatekeeper team?
I think they are the perfect example of a gatekeeper team. And I think every Cleveland Brown fan that's listening to this, which there are probably none, but if there were, they'd be like, that's a big step up from last year. And I'm not saying that as a hater. I'm a big Hoyer fan. I'm rooting for the Cleveland Browns.
don't say that. He's going to have 4 interceptions next week.
No. God damn it.
Their defense is nasty. The Cleveland Browns defense is nasty. I do believe Hoyer is he's a solid quarterback, but Jordan Cameron's hurt. Josh Gordon, he's smoking the reefer. There's just really not many people to throw to. And
on the injury report, you got like shoulder and then Gordon Reefer.
Reefer injuries.
smoking the
But no,
reefer.
that's a good point. And yet they beat the Saints without Cameron, without Gordon, without Ben Tate. They beat the Saints without their number 1 wide receiver, their number 1 tight end, and their number 1 running back. So I'm not saying they're a great team. I wish they were because I root for my Spartans. But
The future is very bright for Cleveland. I believe in what they're buying into, but I think not quite yet.
No, and that's why they're a
Not
gatekeeper
quite
team.
yet.
You think
Yes.
you think they're top 15? Around top 15?
I do.
You think they're 17 through 14?
Yeah, 17 through 14, I'll give it to them every
Then
day.
gatekeeper team.
But when you say
Exactly.
top 16 teams, no, I will not say
I
top
agree.
16
And
teams.
that's why
But I think they're outside looking in.
yeah, that's why they're the perfect example of a gatekeeper team. They're right in the middle. Bad teams will lose to the Browns, and good teams will beat the Browns. So that being said,
no one's going to say the Saints is a bad team, are they? No one here is going to look me in the eye and tell me the Saints are a bad team.
There's
Man.
no way
Man,
I
you're-
could
you're
tell
wincing.
you.
I'm thinking about it, but no, I wouldn't look you in the eye.
No
I just
way.
don't really want to look you in the eye, to be honest.
We did think
For fear of
that
falling in love, yes. I know.
with Kenny Vaccaro, we did think that would be a great team. I don't think that. I do think there's a great fall off. They acquired the kid from Baltimore, or not Baltimore, Buffalo,
Yeah, Jarius Bird.
Jarius Bird, and I do think that everybody bought way more in than what they're worth.
Bird
And I do
is
think-
Bird had. I mean, look, he hasn't played that great this season, I guess. But I also haven't been keeping track of him. Just thinking about the Saints, if he's playing that good, they should have won more games. But I don't know his stats this season. He's a top 5 safety in the NFL easily.
He's a
good.
great safety,
That
but
boy
at the same
good.
time, you have to rate chemistry.
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
Saints do not have chemistry. You have 22 players playing for 22 players instead of 22 players playing for one team.
I agree, and it's stuff like you think, we can let Sproles go, and we'll bring in Brandon Cooks, and everything will be fine. Well, it doesn't always work that way. Brandon Cooks might be more talented right now than Darren Sproles, but does he have the chemistry, like you said, with Breeze? Is it the same? I mean, yeah, they are a team that to me is very much in flux, and I could see by the end of the season they could be either the best team in the league, or they could just be sitting there right in the middle of the pack like they were in 2012.
Chris Rouse just looked me in the eye and told me the Saints are a bad team. You want to try to defend that stance there, brother?
I mean, just said the Saints have not won a game so far.
Yes, they have. They won against the Vikings.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Just that exactly, Ben. Thank you, Ben. That does not count.
Well, that is a good point. Is like I think we all said to come up that was their home opener. We all thought they were gonna fucking drop the hammer on the Vikings. It'd be like 41-14. And what did that game end up? 21-14, something like that.
Sure.
It was not. It was not. Again, that is the kind of deep analysis you get.
On
Gettin'
Gettin' Blitzed.
But we thought that would be a
Gettin'
statement game. That was not a
Blitzed.
statement game. Not at all.
All right.
So yeah, I think Saints fans should be a little worried, but
Absolutely, because the Saints should be a whole lot better than what they are right now.
this was a team that a lot of very smart people, way smarter and definitely way more sober than us,
including me.
yeah,
Me.
said would be a Super
All of
Bowl
us
team.
here.
Me.
Really?
I
They
said
said it would
it.
be a Super
I
Bowl
said
team.
that.
I didn't say that.
Everybody, thank you for listening to Gettin' Blitz, to Johnny and me and Ben and our resident Bears fan,
Hello.
Wesley Bland,
Chris Routh making a special appearance.
Chris Routh. Everyone's been here. Everybody,
Phil Houston yelling loudly in the background.
yes, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Gettin' Blitzed.